Okay, number 3, we have to find the domain of this function. So again, because it's a rational function, I have to make sure the denominator is not 0. And because I have a square root, I have to make sure what is under the square root, that means the x minus 1 is 0 or positive. Now, if you take a close look at the denominator, you see it's x squared plus 4. X squared plus 4 is always going to be a positive number, because 4 is a positive number and x squared is either going to be 0 or positive number. So when I add 0 or another positive number to 4, the answer is always going to be positive. So it is not possible for the denominator to be equal to 0. So I don't need to worry about that. So the only restriction I'll have on the domain will come from the numerator, where I have to make sure that x minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. So it can be equal to 0 because it's in the numerator, and zeros in the numerator are allowed. Okay, so this is an easy inequality to solve. You add 1 on both sides, you get x is greater than or equal to positive 1. So you can write this in any of the ways that I've showed you earlier. So you can say x is a real number and x is greater than or equal to 1. And that is your domain.